His assistant coaches are Nick McAvoy, Neil Alt, Tommy Rothart, Brian Townsend, Caitlin Farley, Mar Orabiyi, Jesse Miller, and John Schlegel.
It's a lot of coaches, Cowell.
Paul the Sixth has a lot of coaches too. I'll get some of them here. Jeff Schwartz, who has a master's degree in sports psychology in his very first season. His assistant coaches are Nick Percat, Blake Rogers, RJ Barnes, and Joey McCallum. Both teams are loaded with all DMV players and college commits. Be sure to push the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube right now, and you can find the rosters in the description below. Now let's get right to the Sport Automotive players to watch. First for Gonzaga, J.M. Costa, the junior attackman, third-team All-DMV Rutgers commit.
J.M. Costa, he stirs the drink for Gonzaga on offense. Had 3 goals against St. John's last week. If he can play well tonight, look out for the Eagles.
Carter Caden, he's back, he's healthy, he's going to be playing attack. A Colgate commit.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I mentioned in terms of Gonzaga getting healthy. He's back. He's a huge puzzle piece for them that they've been missing the entire season. This is his first game back, basically. Tried to come back earlier in the season for 1 game, but was unable to really play. So now he's back. We'll see what kind of impact he can have.
Bobby McCarthy, the senior faceoff specialist, first team All-DMV in the Williams commit.
Yeah, possibly the best faceoff guy in the Washington, D.C. area.
Yep,
he's a horse.
He's first teamer. Gaetano Cicatello, another first teamer, senior captain, Yale commit.
Yeah, Gaetano Cicatello is one of the best defensemen in the country. Really can do it all.
And lastly, Kevin Kane, the senior, the MVP, the Washington Capitals MVP from Friday night with 14 saves.
Kevin Kane is like a wall in there. He takes up so much of the goal. Really hard to beat. He's having an incredible year.
He really is. And for PBI, Zach Chastain, the senior defenseman, we looked for him to match up on Costa. He's a first-team All-DMV defender and a Vermont commit. Connor Pinto, the senior captain, goalie, CNU commit. That's Christopher Newport, one of the best Division III teams in the country, also first-teamer. Gavin Gilmore, the junior Richmond commit. He is their top scorer from the midfield and a phenomenal athlete with outstanding speed. On attack, Heath Holland, honorable mention All-DMV and a High Point commit, leads the team this year in points, I believe. And finally, Josh Shearer, the Jacksonville commit on defense. Third team All-DMV. All right, projected starting lineups. Now, side note, before we give these projected starting lineups, we have good news for Gonzaga fans at home. Ryan Rafferty, the senior, and Chase Noyes, the senior, are going to play today, coming off injury. Chase Noyes, the leading point scorer from the midfield, is gonna, or from attack and midfield, is gonna play. Noyes has 36 points on the season to lead the team, and he's back with a broken thumb.
Between all these guys coming back for Gonzaga tonight, it feels like a Daniel LaRusso moment. Daniel LaRusso's going to fight. All these guys for Gonzaga have been injured. 3 of them are coming back today to play. Rafferty, Noyes, and also
Caden.
Yeah, and Caden, Carter Caden.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're held together by tape, whatever they got to do. Casts, cover the casts up, put the tape on, and come out and get that win by knockout. On attack, J.M. Costa, Rutgers, Tommy Leland, the super sophomore, and Carter Caden. At midfield, it's Nick Zuccato, Caleb Oliver, the Dickinson commit, and Henry Keeler. But like I said, look to see Rafferty and Noyes coming out of the midfield quite a bit early and often. On defense, you got Sam Lukowski, Dom DeVella, the Mount St. Mary's commit, and Gaetano Cicatello. The long stick committee has been Joey Toohey, who was fantastic on Friday night.
And add Michael Matten in there. They alternate. We got some tall long sticks for Gonzaga out there.
And then, of course, Bobby McCarthy, Kevin Kane for PBI. Their hands shaking out there. Heath Holland, Colton Soroyce, the Stony Brook commit, and Braden Galeta. Outstanding attack unit. And just as strong at the midfield with Ryan Rubino, the F&M commit. Gilmore, we already talked about him. And John Henry Schroeder, who is uncommitted but might be the biggest midfielder out there. Look for Henry Schroeder, number 20, whose brother plays at Virginia. On defense, Josh Shearer, Zach Chastain are 2 as good as any, and they're also the players to watch. And here is McCarthy versus Cash Colbert in the starting lineup. Cash is a West Point commit for wrestling, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, this is 2 tough, compact kids at the face-off X. It's going to be a battle all day long. Bobby McCarthy is he looks like a wrestler as well.
Here is Jack DeMaio. Jack DeMaio is outstanding two-way midi for Gonzaga. He will start and push the early offense up to Caleb Oliver. And the first midfield line looks to be similar, except, yep, Henry Keeler comes out. Let's see who's coming out here for the third position on the first line. Here is Oliver with the pole. Nice little pick rub there. He gets down the alley pretty good. Kicks it to X, to Caden. Caden out to Costa, up to Keeler. Bounce pass.
I liked the offensive design, just bad execution on the exchange there.
Tough pass there by...
I did like how they drew the slide. They moved it behind. They swung it to the backside, just unable to make the exchange.
And look, they're in a 10-man, or they're in a 9-man because Cicatello's sitting up at the midline.
With the goalie still in the goal, so
yeah.
A little bit of a pressure ride without coming out of the goal.
A little like a freelance middle linebacker is Cicatello. He's free to come up there and do what he pleases. But ball to 6 beats it. All right, back to PVIs. Colton Soroyce, number 10, with the ball. Soroyce, a Stony Brook commit, has a short stick on him. This is a good matchup for Soroyce. Gets a step on his guy.
It's Blake Briskman playing defense for Gonzaga. Good athlete.
Yeah, I think he's going to demand the ball right back. He does. Gets a hitch on.
It's good footwork by Briskman.
Here is John Henry Schroeder. We talked about him. You can see his size.
He's a good-looking athlete. Uncommitted, but I don't think he'll be uncommitted for long.
He had a couple of goals in the last game I did for PBI against Episcopal, and he played one of the best games of the day for the Panthers. Good offense here by PBI. They look more organized than last time I saw them. Here's Gilmore. Good switch by Gonzaga there.
This is a good possession both ways. Good defense, good,
really good,
calm, cool offense.
Really,
see if they can get a shot off here.
6 seconds on the shot clock. 5. I mean, that is phenomenal both ways. There was nothing wrong with that offense. You talk about the defense, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's just well organized. They were talking, communicating, recovering, just very sound defensively. Didn't give anything up.
Jeez, TJ Albro running through 4 guys. He gets stripped. 1 or 2 is okay. 3 or 4 is a little risky, Matt.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. They need to clear the ball. They need to save possessions. Face-offs and clears are going to be essential
Josh
today.
Shearer just got stripped by who is that pole out there? That's Cicatello. Cicatello and Lukowski double-teamed and stripped them. So 2 takeaways back-to-back against each other on the rod. Caden downhill. Great shot. Even more incredible save by Pinto. Put that down for 1.
That was a great foot save by Pinto.
Unbelievable shot take and save. Here is Zach Chastain, the Vermont commit. One of the top. Good shot save there as well. Love this tempo. Kane with 1. Kane, quick outlet. Oh, he overthrows the guy just a little bit.
2 failed clears in the first 2 minutes of the game for Gonzaga.
And 1 for PBI. Just a lot of tempo in this game.
Glad to see the tradition of the dyed hair for Paul VI continues. The dyed mullets. Nate Murphy watching at home would be very proud.
Zach Chastain flow.
Paul VI alum.
Is that? Oh yeah. Number 16, Christian Lee out here. This might be the second midfield line. We'll check it. Little 2-man game at X with Soroyce and Lee. Over to 28-17 now with the ball. Charlie Carey.
They're getting good looks, just not the last 2 not putting them on cage.
28 is Nico Calavecchio.
Gonzaga showing a zone look here.
2 sophomores in Calavecchio and Carey.
And now they're doing a zone when the ball's behind, and then they go back to man-to-man when it comes above.
Look at Tui. I've been really impressed with Tui the last 2 games. That's Joe Tui making those plays, Matt.
Yeah, he's like 6'5".
He was making so many plays on Friday night. I thought he was one of the best defensemen on the field.
He's very rangy. He's obviously long, covers a lot of ground, uncommitted. He's a good one. Somebody's going to pick up late here.
Good pick, good shot there by Caleb Oliver. The early offense is evident by both teams. And I love this tempo. I actually like the way these guys are playing fast with aggressive rides. There's going to be some turnovers, but that's okay because if you're going to play fast, there's going to be a couple turnovers. Here's Costa. He's got a short stick. He needs to get it back. They need to get it back to Costa. If they throw the ball away, Costa's going to be and they do. Man. See, I think JM needs to recognize that and keep the ball in his stick. They switched a shorty on him. He can beat most long poles in the DMV. He's got to realize he's got a short.
I agree with you there, Cabell. Sometimes it happens really quick, and guys just don't notice that they have the matchup, and they give it up too soon.
Look at this clogged up ride with Cicatello just free to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, this is a deep ride, and the goalie's still in, so they're giving something up somewhere. Paul VI just has to find the extra guy. When they're bringing Cicatello up the midfield, they're leaving someone open down back because the goalie's not coming out. So Gonzaga just needs to find the open man.
I was looking for an attackman open in the corners, and there was nothing. So maybe they're only riding with 5 at the midfield. It just looks like 6. But it's a good ride. Here's Schroeder. He's got Irisari on him. 26. Ryan Rubino, the captain, head to Franklin Marshall out there with Braden Galeta. This is a heck of a first line. Midfield.
It is. It's an athletic
wide
first
open.
line.
Oh, Soroyce wide open. Great pass there by Heath Holland.
Interesting that they were able to get an inside look when Gonzaga goes zone. You know, being in that zone should take away a lot of those inside looks by having a predetermined guy inside. Now they're back to man-to-man.
Galeta, Schroeder. Schroeder just knocked it out of bounds smartly. We have to do a better job, Matt, for the fans at home on the shot clock. That was a shot clock play. He intentionally knocked that out of bounds for you viewers at home, and that was a very smart play because now they can get their rope unit on, their D-shorties out there with their poles.
10-man ride by Paul VI here. In return, they've got their goalie out of the cage, riding up the field.
Cicatello's going to shoot this if he gets his hands free. Whoa. That was a little bit of a force to a guarded player. T.J. Albro had a guy on him.
Third failed clear for Gonzaga.
Someone needs to tell Gaetano to rip it. You know he could probably hit that three-pointer.
At least get a shot and back it up.
All right, and get Paul VI out with the blonde mullet. Gavin Gilmore. Maybe they got playoff haircuts.
Every year. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The playoff, the bleach bond. Looks good. Usually
it's a rookie initiation play, but, in the playoffs, everyone does it. Good rollback to a shot by.
Pretty sure Landon was doing it at one of the games we were at a couple weeks ago.
Braden Galeta, the Christopher Newport, and a save for Kane.
Nice save for Kane.
That's 2 for Kane.
Just stands tall in there.
Shot by Ryan Rubino, saved by Kane, and they're into the 10-man right away. They have a very athletic goalie in Connor Pinto, the Christopher Newport, one of the twins, the Pinto twins. The Pinto twins both play Madlax. I can attest to Connor Pinto's athleticism. We weren't aware of this, Matt, but I have a story about Connor. He goes to the Best in Class showcase about 2 years ago, and they do a NFL combine thing before the event. He got first in everything. He's a goalie.
The jumping,
broad
jumps,
the sprinting, the height, how high you jump, everything. We're like, wait a second. He's the best goalie athlete.
Incredible.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal athlete, and so is his brother.
Speaking of good athletes, Gonzaga called timeout to save possession because, number one, Zach Justine was chasing Gonzaga around. He's a big, good-looking athlete out there.
He play LSM. He can play close. He's starting it close to his goals. He's got 10 goals.
As a defender.
Yeah, let's go to quickly to our sponsor page. Get in one sponsor read here for our title sponsor of the season. Wired for Growth, the Electrical Alliance, our 2025 Game of the Week title sponsor, is the all-encompassing support system that helps electricians in the DMV secure the highest quality training, employment, wages, and benefits. For career opportunities and contractor partnership, visit theelectricalalliance.org. Back to the action.
5 minutes to go here, 0-0.
Cost off a pick. Good play. Josh Shearer got through that pick the other day. That was the move they did, Matt, in the St. John's game that got him 2 goals on sweeps, on that exact same sweep. Paul VI did a better job. Nice take. Better save there.
There's Noyes taking a shot, remember, with a broken hand.
He's
off. He's playing with a cast on, which is very tough.
He looked fine,
Good effort.
He looked fine. I mean, did he have a shorty on him?
That looked like that shot may not have had 100% velocity on it.
Correct. But it was close, and he beat his guy. And Paul VI is wide open in the middle. 4-on-3. Good back check there by Cicatello. I mean, so Cicatello is just able to do what that ride is awesome because they just put Gaetano in the middle and let him go wherever. He let that guy get behind him,
Paul VI was very lucky to hold on to the ball there. Cicatello had a nice clean check, and the ball did not come out.
On Wilton Taliaferro.
Yeah, well done by Taliaferro to hold on to it, and Paul VI able to call timeout to save possession.
That was a strong, he's only a sophomore, but a strong play. We'll go back to a couple sponsors. Prolectric is the 2025 title sponsor of the popular DMVLAX Top 20. The top 20 rankings come out every Monday night at 6 p.m. on Go Madlax Instagram. Prolectric was founded in 1992, and they are one of the DMV's top electrical contractors and a proud partner in the local building and construction industry. Check them out at prolectric.com for more information, and be sure to connect with the president of Prolectric, Scott Pinto, a proud Paul VI and Madlax parent. And the Sport Automotive players to watch are brought to you by Sport Automotive, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Honda. Be a sport fan too and visit sportautomotive.com. Be sure to ask for our friend and owner Gibbs Fogarty, Landon class of 05, when you visit Sport. If you tell him beat prep, he will likely hook you on your next new Tahoe. Back to the action here. Capitals face off. We got to get that game on. We appreciate you watching us over the Washington Caps game 1 of their second series against the Hurricanes.
Maybe you have two screens going at home, possibly.
Get that split screen going at home. John Henry Schroeder has a short stick. Jack DeMeo on him.
DeMeo's a great D-midi, great all-around midfielder as well. But I'd like to see Schroeder go on him a little bit.
Good take by, who was that, Galeta? Number 9, Gilmore, the Richmond commit.
DeMeo and Briskman in as defensive midfielders for Gonzaga. Tui is the long stick midi.
Oh, gosh. That was not his fault, but he's almost decapitated that pick.
I think that should be a penalty when you blast through a pick like that.
No. So what happened was the stick was out throwing a poke check, and the picker was between. He got trapped in this. What a save by Kane.
That was a big save by Kane. Really nice high bouncer, which usually tricks the goalies, and they're down low, and it goes up top corner. But well negotiated there by Kane to save that.
Jack DeMeo picked up by Chastain. You can see how ruthless Chastain is. Takes away the ball. Guys open everywhere. Hits him. A goal by Tommy Leland. Who threw that pass? Hit the
Carter Caden, number 11, to Tommy Leland. What a great play on his first game back. Helps with the clear.
No, Caden played the other night. It's the on attack. That was his first. But it was
second game back. Second game back.
Carter's committed to Colgate and has really lifted this offense here. First goal of the game, not coming till 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us here on Cowboy Maddox with Matt Rienzo in collaboration with the Gonzaga Sports Broadcasting Club.
Nice ground ball by Michael Matten, number 10 for Gonzaga.
Gonzaga setting up in the settled 6-on-6 for the first time in a long time.
Gonzaga subbing, getting their offensive players on, running the first midfield on.
Yeah, let's see, they bring out Caleb Oliver. Any changes here? Looks like they're going to.
Oliver, Mendenhall.
Mendenhall, the Navy commit, coming out to do a little mirror. He's mirroring with the pole, though.
And Rafferty's in as well.
Oh, I love it. This is some of Rafferty's first action of the entire season. Look for number 20. He's got to be excited. He's had some back issues, but he is out there right now. Here's Costa with speed. Bang.
Hits the post. I mean, he had the goalie beat.
He buried two of those just like that. He took Kyle Pinto. Kyle, the twin of Connor, in the cage. Kyle also going to CNU. Here's the invert here. Up to Caden. Caden has Chastain on him. Elects to move it back to Leland and back to Caden. Caden getting a nice pick here from Oliver, but Chastain gets right through it. No problem. Adam Corkill, the short stick D-midi number 69, is committed to Hopkins. He's matched up on Caleb Oliver.
Strong athlete.
Here's Rafferty. Good hard take on number 15, Joe Wheatley.
Rafferty, the lefty, has a bit of a Canadian style, don't you think? The way he handles and plays.
I mean, he played attack. He started on attack last year. That's a big loss. And he's back now. This is a big lift for just a mental positive lift for the whole team, getting all these seniors back. Caden.
Today is the most healthy they've been all year.
Yeah, they're only missing Jake Gouldson. Good back check by Chastain. See how well-timed that check was?
It was perfect.
Ooh.
That's an unfortunate hold. Every ref is going to call that, no question. He got a little tied up.
Replay.
Got tangled up with his stick and pulled him down. And that's a 30-second hold. It'll be an extra man for Paul VI.
All right, first extra man offense, so we are on it. We have Henry Kalpin here from the Gonzaga Sports Broadcasting Club. Henry, thanks for joining us.
He's psyched to be here, keeping stats for us.
Hopefully he doesn't have an AP exam tomorrow, like half the school, it seems, does. You were in all APs here, weren't you, Matt?
I was, yeah. It's 5 APs.
Didn't they have to make special classes for you? They were a little,
Easier?
You
mean the easier
harder.
ones?
No, they had to find challenging classes for you. It was just too easy for you. Coasted through. 57 seconds in the quarter. 1-0 Eagles. The lowest scoring quarter probably in either of these two seasons. These are high scoring.
Well, it'll
teams.
open up at some point. We know that. The scoring's always a little slow in these games, especially nerves. The first quarter is always a time where they just kind of are seeing what each team is doing.
Rip.
Getting their bearings, and he just hit Schroeder, his own teammate.
Decked his own guy with an absolute cannon. 30 seconds to go. Oh, a takeaway by Tui. Tui just makes play after play after play.
Yeah, it's a good job there by Tui. Good persistence staying on it.
Look at their 10-man. I mean, they are aggressive. He's open in the corner if he throws it. He can shoot this. No, they're out. Paul VI is really good.
Yeah, Pinto's good at getting back in the cage, getting out really quick.
Chris Rothenberger, the Swanee commit on the ball, number 12. Out with Daniel Gutierrez, the 14 on the ball on Caden. Daniel Gutierrez earned his starting spot. He's on Caden. Nice pick there. Great pick by number 8, Jack Ambrose. This is the second midfield line out here with Chase Noyes on second. Noyes gets a shot off right before the quarter, and he got hit, and he's fine. So if his thumb is bothering him, you wouldn't know it because he just fell on his thumb, and nothing happened there. So 1-0 at the end of the first quarter. One of the lowest scoring games I've done in a long time. Usually you see those in like the mud pits or the rainouts or something. Not much stats to talk about.
Not a lot of stats.
Not much.
A lot of ones on the sheet.
Remember, we got to keep in mind the Washington Capitals MVP award. We will present that at the end of the evening, at the end of the game, and also the Washington Capitals play of the game.
The only stat that's noteworthy is right now Kevin Kane has 4 saves as opposed to Pinto's 2. I think both goalies are playing well, but Kane holding a little edge. He's had a great year, so no surprise there.
Washington Capitals want to let you know that round 2 playoff tickets are still available. 25-26 season tickets are also available. And you're guaranteed playoff access when you buy season tickets. A special thanks to Darren Montgomery, Senior VP at Monumental and proud Gonzaga lacrosse parent, for his support of the DMVLAX Game of the Week. An anonymous donor has sponsored tonight's game on behalf of the Father McKenna Center in Washington, D.C., located right here on the Gonzaga campus. The Gonzaga community has a strong commitment to the McKenna Center, which serves men struggling with homelessness and facing food insecurities. But it also depends on the community support. So if you can, please help by volunteering your time or donating at fathermckennacenter.org. All right, Cash Colbert, the West Point wrestling commit, versus Bobby McCarthy, the Williams commit. Usually wrestlers are phenomenal face-off guys.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. The body type is the same. Low to the ground, compact, strong.
Can you imagine how good of a wrestler he is if he's going to West Point to wrestle?
That's freakish.
I mean, he is. They're like always up there with like Penn State and Iowa and
Nebraska.
I mean, he's obviously a phenomenal. A lot of this picks on the side. Whoa.
Gonzaga was working in the sub game a little bit, trying to get the face-off guy hung up on a pick.
All right, out comes Mendenhall. Big guy going to Navy. Here's Costa. Costa did a lot of this up with Shearer. Coach Alt, the offensive coordinator, Neil Alt, told us he's going to rely heavily on Costa tonight. Caleb Oliver, outside shot. That's nothing. Oh, Pinto couldn't grab it, though. Back to wind-up shot and just a blast. Nice look by Carter Caden.
Yeah, that was a broken play. Keeler took a shot that was really not a great one. It hit someone before it got to the cage, and then a rebound and a feed. Really well-placed shot by Costa in the top right corner, near side. Not a lot of angle to shoot at. Really well-placed.
Probably got that on the camera angle right here, sitting right by us. Beautiful shot, top right. Now, Caden got popped after that. He seems to be fine, but all these banged-up guys are playing at like 90%, 85%. They don't want to take hits like he just took.
Michael Matten with the ground ball.
And it's going to be a break if they can push it here a little bit.
It's 2 nice ground balls by Matten.
And it is a break, fast break.
Made something out of nothing there.
Great ball movement. Man,
really well
done.
They really made something out of nothing there. Good ground ball by Michael Matten on the face-off to start it off. Possess the ball, and then a Houdini move to get out of there and beat the defensive midfielder to create that fast break.
It was 24. Sam Nestor, who really made that happen. At the midfield, he had a shorty on him at the 45.
He was draped all over him.
And he just did a little roll dodge and exploded, and he was by him, and he made a 4-on-3, and that's what attackmen dream of. Middies that can do that.
Yeah, you talk about, I heard Coach Myers from Ohio State talk about facing off with 10, and that was a face-off that was a full team win right there.
That was a scorpion face-off win there by Bobby McCarthy when you pick it up on the, and it goes right into your pocket. You can do it against poles, and Paul the Sixth was facing off Zach Chastain. Not sure why. Cash did not fall start.
Violation on the last one?
No, Cash won that last one. But that scorpion move, Bobby gets a face-off win. How many face-off wins is that for Bobby? 3. And how many for PVI so far? 2. So pretty even in the face-off battle. 10:47 to go. 3-0 Eagles. Timeout PVI. Smart timeout. They need to get it going. They're not playing. Wait. This is a Gonzaga timeout. My fault.
Yeah, and back to PVI and what they need to do. That offensively, they're really not getting anything going. They need to get the ball more frequently on offense. They need to possess the ball and generate some good quality shots that actually get on net.
Showing you the top 20 rankings that came out last night, presented by Perlectric. You can see Landon sits atop. They're playing right now against St. Albans in the semifinals of the IC. Bullis is playing right now against Prep. Maybe we can get a score in that game.
Pull up the live stream. Give you live updates.
In the semifinals of the IC. DeMatha is playing BI right now. St. John's is playing St. Mary's Riken right now. Everyone's got these games tonight, the WCAC and the IC. We'll try to give you scores as the night goes on. A lot of excitement here in the DMV. We picked this game. We thought this game would be the best action of the evening. And thank you for joining us. I'm Cabo Maddox here with Matt Rienzo. DMVLAX Game of the Week down here at I Street. Beautiful evenings, probably 70 degrees on a cloud in the sky. Gonzaga out with the ball off the timeout. Henry Keeler, number 7, the uncommitted junior. Fantastic season he's having. Jake Mendenhall. They both have shorties. Taliaferro and Corkill. Strong short stick D middies for PVI. Here's Costa looking to get that sprint, and he does. Gets a nice pick. Good brush pick there. He's got good speed.
Gonzaga utilizing lots of picks to try and free up space, just trying to get a little inch, a little bit of an edge on their man to get top side and get a shot off or draw the slide and move it.
Josh Shearer on Mendenhall. Here's
20
Costa
seconds in the shot clock.
On Corkill. Corkill, the Hopkins commit versus Rutgers. They'll see each other for the next 6 years.
They will. Big Ten foes.
Costa's only a junior. Corkill's only a junior as well. So that could be a matchup you're staring at for 6 seasons. Great take by Oliver. Off the pipe by Caleb Oliver. That's going to reset the shot clock. Who's going to be closer here? It's going to be Black at the midfield.
That was as close as it could possibly be.
I would give it to Black.
That's such a hard one. You almost want to go to alternate possession there because it's so close. It's too close to call. Gonzaga fans unhappy with that call.
I thought PVI was closer. What'd you think?
It was close. It's probably too close to call with the human eye right there. I mean,
if you're out of bounds, you're ineligible to be closer to the ball.
And also the PVI guy came over the midfield line across. He wasn't offsides because he stepped out of bounds, but
yeah, well,
it was really close.
Maybe I shouldn't have counted him if he was about Schroeder just leaning on Oliver.
This is what I've been waiting to see.
Man, that's a good backhand.
Save for Kevin Kane.
Canadian backhand twister shot. That's going to be a push on Gonzaga. He had to take the push, though. It's a good push.
If I'm PVI, I'm going back to number 20. I'm letting him lean on his man, like really get him to sustain his dodge, roll back and forth, and see if he can get a step.
They have to pull Gilmore, so he's going to get the shorty on him, and he has all season. Here's Irisari, the Bates commit on this big attackman. Who is that with the ball? I can't quite see it. That was Heath Holland back there being guarded by Irisari. Heath Holland, the high point commit, number 6. Here's
Gonzaga
Schroeder
playing very fundamental defense.
Here's Schroeder.
They're handling these picks pretty well. Nice ground ball by Tui.
Tui is just like a menace. What? Wow, Caden. What just happened there?
Saved by Paul VI.
Here's the replay.
By Pinto, and then just a rebound that was picked up in front of the goal and thrown in. Really unfortunate for Pinto.
Unbelievable play. So
Pinto got the save and then turned it over and gave up the goal.
Who scooped that out of the air? Henry, what number got that goal? Oh, so it was awarded to
a self goal.
It was awarded to Caden, the shooter. Look at that scorpion face-off. Uh-oh.
Is Paul the Sixth face-off guy hurt?
Is he not taking the last 2?
Yeah.
That's not
something to look for.
That's not good.
Because they don't have a chance of winning a face-off without him in the game.
Yeah.
And that's going to prove problematic for Paul VI if they're trying to scrape back into this thing.
Man, and they can't even clear.
It's tough.
Wide open right there.
We talked about it at the beginning. Face-offs and clears mean more possessions. Got to clear the ball, especially if you're not winning face-offs.
All right, Carter Caden settles it down. Costa comes up as well. Nick Zuccato's out there. Timmy McGrail. So Gonzaga going deep early. Look at the 2 attackmen up at the top. They've inverted, keeping Leland at X. Here's Caden back to Leland. Kind of like this wrinkle in this offense. They got 3 middies on the crease and 2 attack up top. Here's Zuccato throwing a skipper. Picked off by Chasteen. Great play by Zach Chasteen, the Vermont commit. Great hustle back by him.
That's unfortunate for Chesty. He made a nice play. You got to feel that guy coming on the backside there.
Look, he got his own rebound.
And you got to feel that pressure, and you got to pull your stick forward.
Good timeout by Coach Schwartz at Paul VI. So 7:02 to go, 4-0 Eagles in the second quarter.
Let's see if Paul VI can mount something on offense here.
They need one. They need one.
Haven't had a whole lot of design plays by Paul VI to generate shots. You know, they're just kind of running their offense. See if maybe they come out of this with a set play to try and generate a shot.
Wired for Growth, the Electrical Alliance, our 2025 DMVLAX Game of the Week title sponsor, is the all-encompassing support system that helps electricians in the DMV secure the highest quality training, employment, wages, and benefits. For career opportunities and contractor partnership, visit theelectricalalliance.org. Per Electric is the 2025 title sponsor for the top 25 rankings that come out every Monday night. Founded in 1992, they're one of the DMV's top electrical contractors and a proud partner in the local building and construction industry. Oh, by the way, did you get any scores when you were texting folks?
No, I'm telling Henry to look up all the scores right now. I was just writing him a note to do that. We'll come back to you at halftime with some score updates.
Check them out at proelectric.com for more information, and be sure to connect with President of ProElectric, Scott Pinto, a proud Paul VI parent and Madlax parent. All right, back to the action here. Out of the timeout, Schroeder's going to pick it up.
Gonzaga have been impressive on defense thus far. And here they are again, Briskman with a nice ground ball.
Wow. That's just brutal out of the timeout. And a pure fast break. 5-on-3 fast break. TJ Albro should have hit the point guy there.
They still have numbers. No, they're even up now. I really like the attempt at early offense, though. I really like it when teams push it, even when it's 6-on-6. Trying to make something happen early in the offensive set.
0-0 in the Capitals game for you guys that are watching us. I appreciate you making us your priority over the Capitals game. 6 minutes ago here, 4-0 Eagles.
That's 2 kind of wasted possessions in a row for the Eagles. Not great production.
Paul VI really needs one here. That was a pretty...
They need to start by clearing the ball. The problem is they've got all these guys way back here. They're not helping with the clear. All the action's up at the midfield line, and they're outnumbered up at the midfield line. So
they have four. They also have 4 poles on the field. They didn't take a pole off.
Yeah, they're just really playing into Gonzaga's hands.
Caden gets cross-checked from behind, steps up, rips it.
That's a save.
Pinto, Henry, you got to save on that. Pinto backs up the shot after making the save. Incredible speed by Connor.
All right, let's try this clear again.
Let's see if they change their formation. Looks like they do have 4 middies out this time. 5 middies out. They have 5 middies out there right now. Well, that works. That's better than having.
I think.
Oh, okay. That's better than having 2 like they did last time. It's hard to clear with 4 poles. Got to get those guys off to clear against this Gonzaga ride, and so does, and same the other way. When you go to clear against Paul VI, you better have 4 shorties ready to go.
Albaro and DeMeo in as D middies.
Shot there by Gavin Gilmore. I think that might have hit Kane.
Do we have a save there? Was it a save?
We're pretty generous. I'd give Kane. It looked like it bounced off something. Nice take there. Ooh, big hit there by Tui or Albaro.
Clean hit.
Good hit there. Real good hit.
The hockey player, hockey captain for Gonzaga.
See him take it in here and just get smacked by TJ Albaro. Great hit by Albaro, the 2-sport athlete. Back to the action. Bounce pass.
Nice little move there by number 10.
Here's Schroeder. But DeMaio's doing a fantastic job on Schroeder.
Yeah, DeMaio's he's a really good D-midi, so I'm not surprised.
Sorry, DeMaio.
But I want to see Schroeder keep trying to attack that.
Incredible save that was good offense there, and a fantastic shot by Holland, the lefty, the natural lefty.
Is there a save there?
Another great save by Kevin Kane.
Good ground ball by Lukowski.
Now see, the Gonzaga's ready for this ride. They come up, they got a pure break here. That's Ambrose to Costa. Sometimes if you just clear fast like that.
Yeah, just full speed. That was a good job by Ambrose.
Move the ball, sprint hard, move the ball quickly. They're not set up yet. Like Paul VI was not set up yet. So you get it out of your stick and move it up the field. Rafferty and back to Leland. Leland's got Kyle Pinto on him.
Leland playing attack for Gonzaga, but he's probably a natural midi and a face-off guy, but he's playing attack for the Eagles.
All season. Yeah, he's been lighting up the scoreboard too, has had a great season.
And that's really just because they want him on the field at all times.
35-plus points this season unofficially. Here's Costa getting the pick, goes underneath.
15 seconds on the shot clock.
Josh Shearer, the defenseman going to Jacksonville, is doing a pretty good job on Costa.
He is. He's a good player.
Costa had his way against Jaden James for St. John's the other night, and then Shearer is locking him up so far. Expect Costa to break loose, though. There you go, Paul VI. They finally cleared it quickly. Nice clear again there by Shearer, number 18. Josh Shearer making a nice, smart, fast clear using Wilton Taliaferro in the clearing game. And here comes Big Schroeder.
This is a critical possession for Paul VI. They need to get one here to go into the half with at least one goal.
Here's Galeta. Galeta drawing the pole. They're double polling the midfield. They got a shorty on Holland right now. Interesting move. Not sure I would short stick Holland. Heath Holland, a high point commit, has a shorty. They got to get the ball around to him. Now they got to pull back on him. Urasari's back on him. But they have.
It's a good time for Schroeder right here. Really nice save.
Just right into his stick.
Yep.
And a beautiful outlet.
Good handle by Michael Matten.
Great catch by Matten.
He's going to the goal. Feed, nice feed. Just mishandled. I don't know if it was knocked down by the Paul VI defender.
And going the other way, 15, Joe Wheatley. Oh, tough one to catch.
That's a really hard feed and catch.
But he scores anyway. Heath Holland. You got to get Heath Holland the ball. Unassisted goal for Holland. Finally puts.
And that's just what Paul VI needed. The lefty, big athlete, puts it in the net.
Little fast break transition goal.
Yeah, that's good action.
Wheatley made there was a nice tip, a pass, quick outlet to Wheatley. Wheatley threw a rocket pass inside, uncatchable. But Holland gets the ground ball and comes down and scores.
Take it any way you can get it, Cabell.
And they're still facing off a pole. So Cash Colbert must be hurt.
It's too bad.
Or benched or something. He's about to get. Zach's about to knock him out of bounds.
Might have a timeout here.
Good play. 1 minute to go, 1:15 to go. Chastain, they're probably shutting off around Chastain.
Surprised Gonzaga didn't call timeout. I guess they don't have any left.
Unbelievable play by
Bobby
McCarthy on the best defender for PVI. Went one-on-one versus the total shutoff. No slide came.
Like a bull in a china shop.
That is massive for the team. Uplifting. Just when your Fogo can come on like that, that is just like the best feeling ever. Hopefully he doesn't have to take the next face-off.
Well, he can't because he got lit up after that goal. I think he's seeing stars over there. Hopefully he's okay.
Oh, good. Sam Nestor's coming into face. Thank goodness for McCarthy. McCarthy with the unbelievable unassisted goal.
PVI back with Cash Colbert now.
What the heck? Cash wins that one. Why wasn't Cash facing off? It must have been strategy by the coach to face off the pole and maybe try to take the ball away with Chastain because he can throw so much stuff, and it did not work right there. But what a play, individual effort by Bobby McCarthy, the Williams commit.
I'm glad to see Cash Colbert back in there.
Schroeder's going to step on his guy here. Gonzaga realizes it. Sam Nestor out there on him, the junior. Galeta.
They're going to go on this matchup, I think.
He's not getting by it, man.
No, he's not.
I would. Oh, that's going to be a nice backup by Black. But
wow, that was close.
But I mean, it hit the pipe.
19 seconds on the clock.
In the half. Sorry for you folks at home for not giving you that sooner. Dodge here, Colton Soroyce. Over to Gilmore. Leans on Cicatello. Takes a good shot.
Good shot, but he had a defender on him lifting his hands. That's a hard shot to put on the money.
Bomb. Man, it's going to drop in. That was pretty close. 5-1 at the half. Let's talk about the stats before we go to our sponsors here really quick. Great quarter for Gonzaga, winning 4-1 in that quarter. After a 1-0 first, Gonzaga takes control of the game. 2 goals by Costa, both 3 assists by Caden, and a goal by Carter Caden. Carter Caden already has a quiet 4 points.
It's impressive.
Jeez, that's incredible. But the goal of the day, the play of the day, the Washington Capitals play of the day so far for me is Bobby McCarthy's goal.
There's no question.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm sure the Capitals would be love to have an athlete like Bobby McCarthy on their lineup. They're tied up 0-0, by the way, for you Caps fans.
Not that we have to look it up.
Down the street here at St. John's. The final 8 for the WCAC was as follows. It was 1 seed DeMatha, playing BI. And we just heard that score. They won. They're advancing to the Final Four. 2 seed St. John's playing St. Mary's Riken. With Offutt being back, I'd be surprised if St. John's loses that. Good Counsel playing the Heights is actually an interesting game up at Good Counsel in Olney. Good
Counsel's a good team.
They're very good. And then right here, we thought this was the best game of the night, Gonzaga PBI, for a chance to go to the semifinals. We asked Coach Schwartz what his biggest positive so far this season for his team. He said from the beginning that we were more concerned with the process than the outcomes of the games. There have been games we have played poorly and won, and games that we have really played well and lost. We talk a lot about every time on the field finding a brick to lay on our foundation. We want to have the house built come May. They've completely bought into this idea, have stayed focused on our process of getting better, and I think we're playing really good lacrosse right now. For Coach King, very emphatic 2-word sentence. What is his biggest positive has been strong leadership.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Always the cornerstone of any good team.
And we asked both coaches again that we said the WCAC title is wide open this year. And what do we need to do to improve on at most as a team, or what needs to happen for your team to win? Coach King said take it a day at a time and look in the mirror and remember who we are on I Street.
Everyone in the stands is cheering wildly.
What's going on?
And do you want to know why?
Why?
Because St. Mary's Riken beat St. John's is what I'm being told. I cannot verify. Henry's going to verify it. He's going to look it up. But the Gonzaga fans are obviously giddy like little schoolgirls. They're very excited.
Unbelievable, because if Gonzaga, well, they don't have to play St. John's. They have to play DeMatha in the next round, Gonzaga. So they got to get through DeMatha first. They better worry about DeMatha first.
Well, they better worry about this game first. There's a lot of game left. It's only a 4-goal lead. And, from what I'm seeing from Paul VI, they've got all the tools to be putting up 10, 13, 14 points a game. It's just not happening for them yet. So if they get going, Gonzaga needs to look out.
Yeah, we're trying to get verification that St. John's actually lost. Maybe we'll get the exact score, but there is a hot rumor going around that St. Mary's Riken just pulled the upset of the season in the DMV. The 7th seed with a new coach and a senior-laden team went down to Wilson Boulevard. Not Wilson Boulevard. What am I talking about?
Military Road.
Military Road at St. John's and took down the Cadets. I mean, come on. The St. John's look so good here on Friday night. That is shocking.
That's why they played the game.
Coach King says we're going to take it one day at a time and look in the mirror and remember who we are on I Street in what they need to do to get this done to win the title. They won the title last year. This is a different year and more challenging for Coach with all the injuries. But they are playing very well right now.
I'm going to tell you what, though. With these guys back, this team is different than it was 2 weeks ago. I've seen them play a handful of times this year. They are a much more confident offense with these 3 players, Noyes, Caden.
I mean, Noyes is the high point scorer on the team, and he's playing second midfield line. He's the best second middie in the DMV.
Yeah.
It's loaded if he's on seconds.
And then you add Rafferty in there, too. I mean, this is a different team. And forget about the St. John's, St. Mary's Riken news that we just heard. Regardless of that, this is a different team, and this team's ready to challenge.
They got to beat DeMatha, who is easily the hottest team in the league. Now, DeMatha beat them in the regular season, so it's tough to beat a team twice.
The thing I like about Gonzaga right now at halftime is, and looking at their prospects down the road for the rest of the season, is they have a very strong goalie. I think he's playing as well as any goalie in the area. They have a really good faceoff guy playing as well as any faceoff guy in the area.
Henry, how many saves does Kevin Kane have in the first half?
He's got 8.
That's impressive. I mean, he just chalks up saves.
He does.
He had 14 the other night, and he just
so with those 2 faceoffs, goalie, and strong defense, they can win all the rest of their games. If the offense performs at 75% of ability.
DeMatha is scary, though. I've seen them play. They are loaded this year, Matt. It's one of the best
DeMatha
teams.
They're very good.
Since the Paul Rabel era, DeMatha has been iffy, and this year they are 1 seed. And we just got official word, 10-9. St. Mary's Riken has upset the Cadets in overtime. Oh, my gosh. Easily the biggest upset of the year. We've got to get that video. That is just heartbreaking for the Cadets fans, but St. Mary's Riken makes that 2-hour drive up to the city and takes down a team that's won two or three WCAC titles in the last 4 years. 2, right? Yeah, 2. No, 3.
Rage, money, power, and money, power, and feel it. Money, power, and
DMVLAX Game of the Week featuring the number 8 ranked Paul VI Panthers and the number 7 ranked Gonzaga Eagles. 5-1 Eagles. Joining me today, once again, providing expert analysis has been Matt Rienzo, the Gonzaga alum, proud Gonzaga parent, and now proud Georgetown parent. His son is on the team.
But an unbiased announcer. Please make sure you state that.
Of course. But Georgetown going down to Chapel Hill on Saturday. Can Georgetown take down the Tar Heels?
They're playing Duke. So
wait, Duke? I thought it was North Carolina.
No, they definitely can beat Duke. They're playing the best lacrosse that they've played in a long time at Georgetown right now.
It was about
great opportunity for the
Eagles,
right off the face-off there. Yeah. So Georgetown's playing great.
Yeah, face-off win there for McCarthy, Henry. Georgetown's playing great, and they have about 6 Madlax kids, including your son, but Kevin Miller has been just shocking this season, and we just love what he's doing, drawing the pole in the first line for the Hoyas.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really slick dodger. He's having a great year for the Hoyas, getting a lot of points as a freshman, which is really hard to do. Running on the first midfield as a freshman, very hard to do.
Yeah, and now getting the pole from what I see, and Duke's can give him a challenge, but here is Costa with this is the marquee matchup. First team all DMV defenseman on him. Zach Chastain headed to Vermont. Here's Leland up top versus 22, Kyle Pinto, going to Christopher Newport. Leland just strokes it.
That was something else. Tommy Leland, the sophomore,
unreal,
with really a great sustained dodge. He dodged. He didn't beat his man. He rolled back. He rolled back again. I call that sustaining a dodge. He eventually, forced his defender to make a mistake, rolled to the top side to the center, and just rips that in an absolute tiniest piece of the corner possible. That's a highlight reel right there.
That's really smart by Gonzaga to do that, because he's played midfield for Madlax for 8 years from that exact spot. That looked like something I've seen him do. I've never seen him play, and here goes Tui. Another break here by Joe Tui. He wants part of the action. He throws a bouncer.
Oh, what a great save by Pinto.
Excellent save by Connor Pinto, picked up by...
Fast break going the other way for Paul VI.
Chris Rothenberger picked up by 15, Joey Wheatley. Joey Wheatley's got tracked to the goal and blocked by Irisari. What a block by Irisari.
That was fortunate for Gonzaga. Nice play by Irisari.
And here is Sam Lukowski, another uncommitted senior starter who's just been phenomenal this year.
Who's like 6'4" also.
Yeah. Carter Caden step down, lefty. I mean, Gonzaga is playing phenomenally well tonight. Best I've seen the Eagles play all season.
Yeah, Gonzaga is playing very inspired. They're playing with a level of energy, frankly, that is not being matched by Paul VI and has not been matched all night, especially here in the second half. They came out guns a-blazing, going to the goal hard, and Paul VI has no answer. They need to win a face-off here.
What do you think it is? You think those seniors coming back off injury is just giving them a mental lift? They're playing with so much more confidence.
Yeah, they're mental lift, but also a physical lift. These are three big athletes that are three of their better, more senior players who are now in the lineup. So I think, yes, confidence for the whole group, but those three guys are making an impact. Caden's making a huge impact. He has 6 points.
Gosh, great play there by Michael Matten off the wing, scoops up the ball. Did he draw the foul? Somebody got a foul. Now
I missed the foul. Did you see it?
We have a foul flag down. Somebody got popped off ball, interference, and now the flag's down. And Caden has, he has 5 points, 2 and 3 already for Carter Caden, the Colgate commit, having a breakout game. He hadn't played much, but he did have 14 points, and that is an absolute cannon by JM. John Michael Costa, I learned from Ryan Bell the other night from the Gonzaga Sports Broadcasting Club, who did a phenomenal job calling the game with us. 9:28 to go here in the third quarter. 7-1 Eagles. It's not that Paul VI is even playing poorly. It's just that Gonzaga is playing the best, and they're going to need this again if they continue to hold out to win.
You know, the other thing, too, Cabell, is that Kevin Kane's in the goal. Like, when they have decent shots, they're just not going in. He's saving everything.
He's already got 9 saves, which is just incredible. Big body. You think you can beat him, and his hands are quick as lightning, too. Headed to Mount St. Mary's. He's going to do well there. What a look.
Incredible feed by Caden. Chalk it up, another point. His 6th of the night. His 4th feed.
I mean, he is a great player. Early Washington Capitals MVP candidate. He and Kane are in the running, but man.
This is a different Gonzaga team right now than some of the games I've seen this season. They're playing with a different level of intensity and purpose.
For sure. I would say that Washington Capitals' early nominee is Carter Caden for the Eagles, and then I would probably say Zach Chastain for Paul VI, number 1 defenseman. Gonzaga folks are still giving it to him, even though they're up 8-1. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Gonzaga fans did not like that call.
Schroeder,
can't get them all right.
Schroeder's going to have to step up. Good double team by Cicatello on the backside. He turned his head, and he just knew when to go. Great instincts, and what an athletic play there by Blake Briskman. Just so many athletes in the school.
Briskman's a good athlete, really good basketball player.
I mean, that swim he just did to avoid that body
he's
check.
Tall and athletic, runs well.
Just playing with so much confidence. It's going to be hard to get Gonzaga out of this rhythm right now. They're going to have to do something. 10-man rides, shutoffs around maybe Chastain. But nothing is going well here for the Panthers. Kyle Pinto out on Oliver. Here is J.M. Costa. He's got a shorty on him. No, he had a pull, but good switch and pick up by Duke Gutierrez.
Drew the slide even with the pole on him.
Here's Oliver. Dickinson commit. Pump fakes it. Got his guy on the pump. That was Corkill. JM. Oh, nice D. Sit down there by Shearer.
Costa rips it right-handed. Looks like he hurt something.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's going off. They cannot.
Looks like he hurt his hand or something.
They can't afford to lose Costa. But that was a solid check there by Shearer on him.
It looks like Costa's in some pain over there.
Henry, can you keep an eye on Costa on the bench? He's walking off and getting attention while we call the game. See what you learn by just keeping an eye on him. Thanks, Henry. Henry representing the Gonzaga Sports Broadcasting Club here. Phenomenal club. They placed a young man last year. Henry, what was the young man who went to Syracuse out of your club? Colin Smith up there at Syracuse.
Goalie on the lacrosse team.
He was on the team last year? Oh, well, he's at SU right now in the communication school, the #1 school in the country for that. What are they looking for, a lacrosse ball?
I don't know what
you got one in your pocket. We have a stall here.
I don't know what's happening.
And there's
they're counting down the shot clock to get it to the right number. So we have to wait for them to actually count it down.
Get it down. They do that at every level. Every level.
I think they could enter the numbers and just put a new number up there.
Imagine doing the shot clock at the PL.
Maybe someday we'll get to that level where we have that much technology.
Yeah, well, they probably do. But what is a PLL shot clock? 32 seconds or some weird number like that?
Yeah, 32 seconds and 50 seconds, I think, to start off the face-off.
These guys play NCAA Division I rules here, so we're used to this. Oh, good bounce in his step over there. Who is that Dodger? He had him beat under. That was...
That was 91.
Gonzaga. Oh, that was 91. That was Quinn O'Neill, the freshman, plays on our Madlax freshman team. He actually has gotten 10 or 11 goals this year as a fourth attackman.
The lefty.
In, started against DeMatha, showed some great bounce in his step there on the dodge. And he's filling in because Costa is hurt. Henry, how's Costa looking? Any word over there?
He's zooming with his camera to get an up-close personal look.
Oh, good gosh. That's a great step-down rip there, but he's just...
Yeah, but it's a bad shot. They're just not
He's got to put that low.
Yeah, they got to get it on net. Got to put pressure on Kane. Got to shoot off-stick side. They just have to pepper the off-stick side. Stay away from the stick side high stuff.
All right, well, that's a wrinkle. They have Gilmore on attack now. The midfielder going to Richmond. That's probably not a bad idea. Get him on the field the rest of the game. Here's Christian Lee.
That's great. They better score quickly if it's going to make a difference.
Man, he looked like he got – that was Soroyce up to Irisari. Down to DeMeo. DeMeo wants to take it. And he scores!
Nice goal.
Are we going to give the assist to the Irisari, the long stick midi?
We can, it's loose.
Yeah. So that was Irisari.
We can take liberties.
Irisari on the assist. And Jack DeMeo, the short stick D-midi, gives him the juice goal. And this one is now 9-1 with 6:10 to go. I'm Cabell Maddox here with Matt Rienzo. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go over some of those scores again from the WCAC.
Most importantly, Caps are tied 0-0 still in the first period.
We'll give you the Capitals are tied. Is it the end of the first? I think it's the end of the first. The DeMatha won their game. I forget the score. 15-7 over Bishop Ireton.
You're going to take over reading the scores from me?
You got it. Go.
All right, we got Prep Bullis. Bullis winning 11-5. So unfortunately for Georgetown Prep, their season is over. Bullis advances to play Landon, who won 11-7 over Episcopal.
No, against St. Albans.
St. Albans.
Yeah.
Can you write that down for me so I remember it next time? Thank you. And then, DeMatha, we talked about beating Bishop Ireton 15-7. So those are the local games today.
And then the biggest one you haven't mentioned, the biggest upset.
St. John's lost.
For you guys that are just joining
St.
us.
Mary's Riken 10-9 in overtime, in which must have been just an incredible game, especially for St. Mary's Riken, who hasn't had a victory like that in several years. Program, in a bit of a rebuilding mode the last handful of years, and just incredible job for them, and congratulations to them to advancing to the semifinals for the first time in a while.
Madlax alum and PLL All-Pro Romar Dennis went to St. Mary's Riken.
A lot of great players went to St. Mary's Riken.
Been a while since they've been this good, but Romar Dennis is probably smiling somewhere.
Romar Dennis is the man, great player, great ambassador for the game.
Outstanding. He also, I believe, coaches at Loyola High School in L.A. Bobby McCarthy, another faceoff win. False start by Cash Colbert, so he has to sit out the next one.
It's all come together
Ooh,
for Gonzaga. Face-offs, goaltending, offense, defense, it's all come together at the right time for them.
And they're using their picks well. Like that right there, here's Quinn O'Neal, the freshman, getting some action. Love to see O'Neal out there. I coached him.
And the reality of it is, if Costa's healthy, he doesn't need to go back in. Not unless the game gets close.
Do we have any sort of report on
It's
Costa?
his left arm. We don't know anything more than that.
Hopefully he's
but
okay.
We do know he's not in the game, and it's a left arm hand injury of some kind.
Well,
hopefully he's okay.
Matha. Caden's got 6 points. Early candidate for the Washington Capitals player of the game. Here is a nice pickup and fast break by Bryce Hart. No, that's Zach Chastain. What am I talking about? I thought that was 7. That's Zach Chastain, the top player, headed to Vermont. The Madlax senior. Fine young man. Outstanding. Has over double digits in goals. There you go. They give it to him. They throw it over his head. I would even throw that shot into the play of the game.
Yeah,
I would even throw that shot into the play of the game.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. Great shot.
He and McCarthy should be nominated.
Actually thinking the same thing. Great shot.
He and McCarthy should be nominated for the put on the game. I'm going
to.
Did you figure it out yet? Are they actually just using 5 guys up here? Did you figure it out yet? Are they actually just using 5 guys up here?
The reason why there's no one
wide open is Leland. This is scary. What a save!
Great save
there by Costa. You don't see a tackman ever get the ball. Wipe.
Glad to see Costa back in. Tommy Leland.
Just doing unofficial stat.
You need
food insecurity. It provides a structured program supporting the mission of meeting needs, reclaiming lives, including a day shelter for homeless men and a food pantry for individuals and families in need. Check out FatherMcKennaCenter.org. Washington Capitals want to let you know that round 2 playoff tickets are still on sale. The score is 0-0 in the Caps game, by the way, in the first intermission.
There's playoff tickets still for sale?
Yeah, there were, believe it or not. I mean, they're obviously sold out tonight, but like 2 days ago I wanted to go until I realized I was doing this game. And then there were some very expensive tickets. There's
lacrosse every night this week. It's hard to get to the Caps game.
Yeah, not in my price range, but maybe in the future. 2025-26 season ticket membership still available. Guaranteed playoff access when you buy season tickets. Special thanks to Darren Montgomery, who's missing this game. He's working over there for Monumental. Over the
I went to
Capital
the game.
One Arena.
I went to game 2 of the first series. And that is just the best entertainment in town. Great family entertainment. So fun.
It's unreal. And they do a
great product on the ice.
I was talking with Darren about the lacrosse night they do in the winter in December. We're going to get involved with that this year. Have a bunch of lacrosse clubs come in and attend a game.
Play lacrosse on the ice before the game.
Get some access to the athletes. And a face-off for Bobby McCarthy against Zach Chastain, the pole. Chastain has taken a lot of face-offs this year and a win. I guess that's a win. Good ride there. Oh, they're going to call a foul.
I give that as a face-off win to PVI personally.
Okay, and a fast break and a foul. This could be an and one situation. Hits the point guy, skips. Man, that's a tough pass. As a former attackman, point guy, I just don't like to see that. That's a goal. They've got to get a quality shot there.
Poor Cabell. For those of you at home, he has his head down at the table, shaking his head. He's so upset that the point man didn't make a better play.
I hold the point guys to a higher level of standard, and it was the right look, but he threw it sidearm, and so he is uncatchable. It's just got to be an overhand pass. So many guys now throw the underhand pass, and there's a time for that. I love underhand passes, but not when you're trying to get a fast break goal desperately down 9-2.
In the playoffs.
Here is Schroeder. Man up here for PBI. They've got to get a quality look here, right? See what they can do. Picked off. Same thing happened last man down.
Yeah, these defenders, and it's the same guy. It's Tui again.
I'm pretty sure.
Getting his long arm out there.
I'm pretty sure the same play happened.
Tui is just so tall and long. He runs well for his size. Any coaches out there watching, he's a high academic,
Yeah.
Big kid with a lot of upside.
What is he, 6'3"?
He's a junior, rising senior. No, he's 6'6".
What? Oh, my gosh. He's going to be a monster. When he starts
he's
filling
a big
out,
guy.
he is a
Uncommitted.
great project. Here is Oliver. Nice cut there by Costa. I love that cut. Completely lost his guy. His guy's still looking for him. Costa's still open. Finally pick him up. Good dodge. Man, that was powerful. Nick Zuccato, the senior.
Nice goal.
He's
really,
got,
no angle.
He's got 22 points on the season. Like, he's been consistent.
Yeah.
He's been healthy. That's a lot of points.
That was a nice look there. Found it on the far side with no angle.
He just bull dodged.
Did he do a little wraparound twister there?
No, but he just bull dodged.
Just brought it far side.
Yeah, I mean, his power, you can see how strong the young man is with that dodge. Makes it 10-2 here in the fourth quarter. That was the first goal of the fourth. Cash Colbert gets a rare win. Oh, a new faceoff guy for Gonzaga. Gives it up to the point guy. Royce picked up. Oh, good ride by Paul VI, showing some physicality. But Gonzaga, Matt Zuccato, his brother, I'll assume, picks up the ground ball.
Gonzaga really just doing everything well right now. They just were in all sorts of trouble clearing the ball, and they get it out with some nice passing.
Now
they're just playing efficient.
Now Caden's playing his more natural position of midfield. I mean, they're experimenting with
McGrail and Noyes coming out of the box.
Yeah, they're experimenting with some things to get ready for.
And then they got Rafferty on attack with Leland.
And Noyes. Noyes is back on attack. So, like, they're playing around with things to give DeMatha a lot to get ready for and prepare for. Outside rip, easy save for Connor Pinto. Nice outlet pass to 25. Wilton Taliaferro. Taliaferro gets by his guy. That is Timmy McGrail, number 6, riding him. Here's Royce. Royce, the Stony Brook commit. Loses it.
Tough turnover for Paul VI.
Sam Nestor, another one of the outstanding. Oh, gosh, step down. Absolute 100-mile-per-hour shot off the crossbar that went to the top of the building across the way.
It's still going to the law school, the Georgetown University Law School
I mean,
building.
It's on the roof. That was a heater.
All right, now it landed, finally landed.
Costa wanted the hat trick on that goal. He's got 2.
I think maybe if he shot it harder, it would have gone in.
He was trying to break.
It might have gone over 100 miles an hour, that one.
The pipe. Here's Shearer on him. Josh Shearer, the Jacksonville commit. Nice-looking defenseman. Oliver with 15. Joey Wheatley on D here. Here's Wheatley on D. Kicks the X, backside to Costa. Good pass, good ball movement. Up to Mendenhall. Over to Keeler. Here's Oliver. Step down blast high. 8 minutes even to go in the fourth quarter in the game. I'm Cavill Maddox with Matt Rienzo. Thanks for joining us here in the DMVLAX Game of the Week in beautiful Washington, D.C. Remember a couple years ago we called the game here, Matt? It was an absolute torrential monsoon.
For a couple of years there, it seemed like all of our games were in the rain in a torrential monsoon. We've been lucky this year with nice weather.
Yeah, down here it was messed. Oh, what a look. Pinto, the goalie, sniffed out that look. 3 seconds ago in the shot clock. Why not throw the pass? And now see if Paul VI can clear and what their formation is. They have 3 poles on. Didn't run a pole off. Now they're running one off. A little late, and they get it cleared. Are you okay with keeping 3 on like that? I just don't see. I don't see a point. What's the point of keeping 3 close defenders on?
There's no universe in which I would clear the ball with 3 or 4 poles in the game. You get those 2 guys out, and you get short sticks on.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, especially versus a drop ride and or a holy smokes. Looks like Rubino could have jumped on that.
I don't know. That was a terrible pass. Too far. You have to shorten up the exchange by running, make it a 15, 20-yard pass instead of a 35-yard pass.
Oh, here we go.
Just
Now
a little bit lazy.
I'm going to get some new names for you. Edwin Sembieta, the hockey player, a senior, number 68 at pole, just got a first shift. Love to see Gonzaga going deep on the bench here at home. This is the last game at home, by the way, so it's fitting that they're going to get all these seniors on the field.
Get the second midfield in.
They have to go to DeMatha on Friday. Win that, they go to Georgetown University on Monday evening.
That game's at Georgetown now.
Georgetown University.
Amazing.
Second year in a row. So much better than when they used to do it over at the soccer field at University of Maryland.
Yeah, great facility at Georgetown. Really nice stadium.
Beautiful.
Great environment.
Another almost easy goal for Noyes. I mean, for Caden, would have been his 7th point. 6 minutes ago here in the game, 10-2 Eagles. Carter Caden just looks really confident out there.
Yeah, he's a humongous boost for the Eagles.
He looks really good on attack, I must say. I mean, he's recruited, I think, at Colgate for mid, but doesn't he look comfortable out here?
He looks comfortable everywhere to me.
Yeah.
He's just a good all-around player.
Oh, man, just a drop pass there by Shearer. Perfect outlet by Pinto. Shearer couldn't handle it. A little bit of stick skills. Leland. Is Leland crouching over in pain there? Something's going on.
Yeah, I think he
with
just
Tommy.
got a Charlie horse or something.
5:26 to go, 10-2. Here comes Quinn O'Neill, the freshman out of the midfield, his natural position. He's played attack for Gonzaga this year because he's a lefty. And they're missing all their lefties.
Lefties are hard to come by sometimes.
And here is Zach Chastain. He is getting harassed, and he's getting fouled, and they're not calling it. They just hit him.
He's also trying to run through 5 people.
See what we got here. Good action.
Timeout.
They call timeout. That was a great ride by Nick Siccato. Nick Siccato looked like an animal on a mission, just hunting Chastain down in the corner, and a quick timeout.
An animal on a mission?
You know, like to get his prey. He looked like he was stalking, is what I meant. That probably would have been a better use of terminology. You've been watching the Americas, those nature shows that are on.
I have. I have indeed.
love them.
They are good. They remind me of the old David Attenborough videos that they used to have, like Planet Earth or what, Blue Planet. If you used to watch those.
I think the Americas is well done. I think, is it Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks is legendary.
Yeah, but that's what there was stalking going on there. Remind me of the Americas by Nick Siccato.
Reminded you of when the leopard chased down the gazelle.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? What it says is that Nick Siccato, the senior, is going to make his final minutes of his career here on I Street. What's the name of this field? Is it just Gonzaga Stadium? What's the name of this field? Buchanan Field. I should have known that.
It's been Buchanan Field for probably 50 years.
The stadium is renovated, what now, 3 years ago?
No, a lot longer than that at this point.
Oh,
Time
really?
flies.
Man, I feel like I just the other day when they renovated this beautiful stadium.
It's a great venue down here between all the buildings downtown, 5 blocks north of the U.S. Capitol building.
It's actually really crowded here for a Tuesday night when they have exams, AP exams.
Yeah, but it's almost summer.
Great look there by 19.
Nice little set play, nice little movement to get a shot.
And Kane backed it up.
They did.
We got to start talking about the Washington Capitals play of the game. It's a 2-horse race, and then the players of the game. I think Kane's in the running, but Carter Caden is just having a phenomenal game. TJ Albero.
I'm ready to give out the awards now.
And we got a foul on Soroyce, I guess offsides. They got Quinn O'Neill on attack, lefty attack out there. We're going to go with 88. Will Carroll, a sophomore out there. And then on the other side, I'd love to see Gonzaga emptying the bench. Coach King, class act. He's got another sophomore in Leland. So sophomore, freshman on attack. The future is always bright at Gonzaga. They get about 30, 40 players a year in the program. One of the bigger programs in the country, let alone the DMV. Here is Timmy McGrail, senior, making the most of his. He gets pushed from behind, no foul.
A little bit of a yard sale.
Got it back to O'Neal.
How did they get that ball back when he didn't
threw
even
it
have his
backwards, I
stick?
think. Nice play
That was
there
lucky.
by Quinn O'Neal. And here is Cameron Weber, another sophomore of the Weber family.
Son of Clayton Weber, played at Cornell.
Great family, yep. 3:15 to go. Smart play by Weber to put it out of bounds. 10-2. Still no score in the Capitals game, if you're wondering. Hopefully you're split screening it. But we're going to have a man up here for Gonzaga on the offsides by Paul VI. See if they put out their starters on man up.
They do. Work on their extra man a little bit.
Glad to see Costa is healthy. DeMatha is probably prepping for their massive game on Friday. We're going to be at the DMVLAX game of the week, hopefully at Landon versus Bullis. We'll confirm that tomorrow after we hear from the Landon Athletic Department. But we're hoping we get that championship. And I also wish that WCAC and the IC would schedule their games on different nights.
Only so many days in the week, Cabell.
Yeah. So timeout there by Coach King. Is that what that was? 2:46. Let's go ahead and give the Washington Capitals MVP Carter Caden with.
We're not voting on this. You're just giving it out
You
unilaterally.
already said it was a lock. You already voted lock. Do you have any? Henry, are you okay with giving it to Carter Caden? How many saves does Kevin Kane have? 15.
Oh my gosh.
Kevin
I'll tell you
Kane,
what,
the sleepiest 15 you've ever seen. He had 14 the other night against St. John's, and he did win the Washington Capitals MVP. I'm still going with Carter Caden. Executive decision with 1, 2, 3, 4 assists.
I have a wrinkle for you for the
6.
MVP, by the way.
We're going to do Co. We're going to do Co.
Because I don't think Paul VI deserves an MVP. I think you give 2 to Gonzaga.
I like it. So Kane and Caden.
No offense, Paul VI, but this was not the best performance, and I don't think, at this point.
I do think that Connor Pinto, the goalie, played well, and I do think that
he did play well.
how many saves did Pinto? Oh, sorry, Action back on the field here. Sorry about that.
And for the play of the game, I vote for also a tie between Bobby McCarthy and Leland.
Leland's
I
rip.
think Tommy Leland's rip was that was a special play. So I vote for both.
Bobby McCarthy, just to remind you if you're just tuning in or missing it, is the faceoff specialist. Quinn O'Neal with the outside cut. Nice look by Albro. Back out to, ooh, jeez.
There's a mugging.
Then he got him on the ground
He
again.
took his wallet.
51. Tucker Lamanna getting.
All right, Tucker Lamanna getting some action, the freshman, lefty.
They got a bunch of guys out here, but they just really fouled Tucker, and they no-called it. He definitely got fouled, and then he got fouled again on the ground by Bryce Hart. Big, huge defenseman.
No harm, no foul, I guess.
Bang. Off the pipe.
That's a nice shot by McGrail.
Looks like
lefty.
they got Will Kovacs is in the cage now. Pinto is out, so Paul VI is subbing as well. Good ride there by Lamanna. Is that Cicado still? Who's out there for the first line? I don't think that's Cicado. Cameron Webb's out there. Cameron Weber out to Kovacs. Kovacs up to Nash Kaufman. He's off to the races. Down 10-2. Absolute domination here. Step down rip by Joey Wheatley.
Minute and a half to go in the game.
Just Gonzaga was just impressive tonight. Talk about Gonzaga's play. I know you've mentioned a little bit. Just wrap it up.
I mean, just
Wrap
really,
it up.
all you hear football coaches talk about the 3 phases. In lacrosse, it's probably 4 or 5 phases. You've got goalie play, you've got face-offs, you've got offense, you've got defense, you've got the riding and the clearing game. I think Gonzaga played really well, like an A minus in all categories. And this is the first time all year they've done that from the games I've seen and the scores I've seen. So this is a really dangerous team at this time of the year, especially with St. John's losing today. So
I wish I could see that DeMatha Gonzaga game Friday night. We'll be at the Landon Bullis game, presumably. But thanks for joining us here at the DMVLAX Game of the Week. 40 seconds ago. Again, the Washington Capitals play of the game is going to go to Bobby McCarthy on his face-off goal.
Oh, and the real Washington Capitals scored. It's 1-0.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
Fantastic. They're getting outshot 15-9, but they're winning 1-0. Efficiency gets it done for the Caps. Here's Wait, that's 28. Nico Calcavecchio. Nice save. Is Kane still in there? It is. Another save for Kane. He's still in there. They didn't sub him. Thought for sure they'd take him out, but they're going to let him enjoy his last minutes on I Street, Buchanan Field as a senior, and that'll do it. 10-2. Actually, no.
Great win for Gonzaga. They advanced to take on DeMatha in the semifinals on Friday.
And now for the Washington Capitals MVP. Officially a co-MVP status to Carter Caden with 6 points. 7 points. 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 points, 2 goals, 4 assists. And Kevin Kane with
17 saves.
17 saves. Unreal. And then the play of the game, we're going to have a dual award as well. First to Bobby McCarthy, the faceoff specialist, on a total shutoff versus their Paul VI top defenseman, came around and scored. And then Tommy Leland up top from more of a midfield spot off a pick. Just an absolute rip to the corner. Thanks to the Washington Capitals for sponsoring those 2 awards. Thanks to you, Matt, and to you, Henry, for joining us in this production, this NLV production and Baller TV here at Buchanan Field on I Street on a beautiful night. Again, look for us on Friday night. Matt Rienzo and I will hopefully be together, and we'll get the word out tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Good night.